Hello and welcome to the Skydival channel, and today, let me tell you what this is, but we're at the Cooler Master Suite here at CES 2024. I want to start off with this because it looks like nothing else you've seen on the DIY PC market. So a lot of you guys who have these very large RX 7000 or RTX 4000 GPUs may want to listen up. So if you're unsatisfied with the current cooler that is on your graphics card, you can swap that out with this Cooler Master Project VGA cooler. It's not a project, it's actually going to come into production, and you can replace the cooler that is on your existing graphics card without voiding the warranty. So you can keep the existing heatsink on, but just take off the shroud so it won't void the warranty, but you'll be getting even better cooling performance. But not only that, I think you're also gonna get a big boost when it comes to aesthetics, because I love the look of this GPU cooler from Cooler Master, and it comes in either white or this gunmetal gray that is fairly black. Also, just so you guys know, this only comes in a vertical orientation. It's not gonna be horizontal, but this means it'll universally work with any PC case you wanna use, because this will go where most of your PCI slots are. Just note that you need a case that is deep enough, because this graphics card is gonna take up a lot of frontal width, if that's a word, inside your PC case. But this right here is a brand new case that Cooler Master is going to be bringing to the market, and it's ITX. It's the NCore 100 Max, and the goal of this case is by all means take up as minimal amount of desk space on your PC gaming setup as possible. So I'm literally telling you, like, every design decision that has gone into this is making sure it takes up as minimal space as possible on your desk. So for instance, the radiator here that's gonna cool your CPU is a custom one. It's a 38mm thick, 140mm AIO. Trust me, it's still gonna cool off most processors very well, even if it's a single fan. But at that, it's also gonna be quiet because it's only one fan. And then pair that up with an SFX power supply, this additional fan here, your motherboard's gonna go right here. And there's some other useful kind of designs that have gone into this to make it a little more practical. For instance, if you decide to get the Cooler Master power supplies that are bundled in with these NCore Maxes, the cables are going to be a lot shorter. So that'll be more useful because you could just plug it straight into your motherboard and there won't be a huge mess of cables. It should all be pretty short and compact, which that really alleviates the anxiety that I would have building in this kind of case, because I'm just afraid of squashing everything together into this tower style case. Fortunately, if these cables are going to be shorter, then that hopefully eases things up a little bit. But this will be coming in a few different colors. We have this cool bronze color. We have this neat military green color that almost looks like gunmetal. And this will be releasing very soon from Cooler Master. Now, I am happy to showcase this product to you guys. It's not niche, it's not expensive. It is a new budget PC case from Cooler Master. Let's go. It is the Masterbox 600. This retails at $80, and let me tell you why you should care about this case over others that look really similar to it. For one, the layout's pretty much set in stone. You're gonna find a lot of cases that are like this, but what sets it apart are the fans. You're getting 4 high quality CF120, I believe, fans from Cooler Master in a case that's $80, and all those fans are RGB. I think that's a pretty good deal. But there's also been a few other changes. For instance, this case can support Project Zero motherboards, where all of the power connectors and I/O connectors are on the backside of the PC case. But once again, you still have support for traditional motherboards that have their connectors on the front right here with those cable grommets. But also the design of it needs to stand out, but it doesn't look too overblown. So like the cable grommets, those are in white. I kind of like that. If we come here to the front and the front panel, there's even a little bit of contrast here between where the fans are gonna go and this little white siding. And overall, for $80, I think this is a really neat and tidy PC case for the money coming out from Cooler Master. I think for an excellent price, especially given the fans that you're getting inside this case. And then here are 2 cases that I wanna quickly showcase to you guys. First one being the T500 Max. You guys are familiar with the TD500. I made a short integration on it earlier last year, but this one I think is gonna be the antithesis of PC case cooling, because what Cooler Master is doing with this TD500 is they're including a custom radiator. in this PC case. So it's a little bit thicker, and it comes with its own special fans, and this one here in the back, but this should allow for ultimate CPU cooling in the TD500. Yes, it's gonna be a little bit expensive, but if you have an i9-14900K or whatever and you're pushing it to the max, this case is gonna be able to deliver all that performance, or better yet, all of that silence, because you have better quality fans and a bigger radiator. And then right here, we have the NR2P100 version 2. A lot of you guys are familiar with the OG NR2P100. And fortunately, we're getting an update with some much needed changes. For instance, we're getting one with USB Type-C, which is great to see. Also, previously, there wasn't this cutout on the original NR2P100. That is because this is now going to be cut out. So if you want to throw in an even longer graphics card for that just extra little bit of length, you can now do that. Also, I think there's a few more changes internally. I think you can now mount a 280mm radiator with ease inside this case. And I'm looking forward to the max version of the version 2, because my previous PC case was the NR2P100 Max. But now that this has Type-C, I want to see how much more cooling Cooler Master can stuff inside this small ITX case. This right here is purely experimental, but it is maybe one of the most beautiful PC cases I've ever seen. This is their NR200P Vision, where you have a LCD panel, I believe, or a digital panel on the front of the PC case. And here on the sides, we have really dark tempered glass on the front and the back that will more or less mesh in with the front. And this looks so good for a PC case. It's conceptual. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Or maybe even you wanna have this case, but without the screen, just because it looks so sublime and just understated. But Cooler Master is doing some very interesting things visually with a lot of their products. Now this may look a little bit familiar, but Cooler Master was like, okay, we made the MA824 stealth because it was quiet and it still outperformed all the competition. But now they're like, what if we made a version that just didn't care about silence? It was full on performance. That is what the MA824 XT Stealth sets out to accomplish. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be quiet, but if you just wanted that extra bit of cooling performance from an air cooler that is already at the top of cooling benchmark charts, you can get, I believe, according to Cooler Master, an extra 5 degrees Celsius of cooler temperatures on this more performance optimized version of the MA824, and this will be arriving soon on the market. And these might even get a little bit of a facelift to these cool understated versions of the same sort of CPU cooler. This isn't confirmed, but I like the look of this. So maybe they'll be bringing a similar design language from this to the MA824, which would make for a very beautiful and well-performing CPU cooler. And real quick, because I know there's some people out there who are gonna care about this, Cooler Master is bringing their award-winning Mobius fan into a slim version. Look at that. So if you have an ITX case and you wanna pack in even more fans into your PC case, there's now a slim version of the Mobius. And I am already gonna tell you, this is probably going to be the best slim fan you can get, period. Oh yeah, and if you're running a server chassis, they also have the Mobius 2 right here. It's gonna be very loud and push tons of air. And the last thing as well is that Cooler Master is going to kind of solve their way of having multiple fans across a single kind of connection, because I know we've seen a recent trends in having magnetic fans that connect together or are daisy chained in some way. Cooler Master is keeping it simple. They're just having all of it in a singular cast, I wanna say. That way, this is optimized for best performance. Because if you cut these all up and you have them connected individually, that is not gonna be as good in terms of performance as just having a single triple fan setup or dual with their new Mobius 360 or 260, multiple fans. This is really cool though. This is one of the first fanless power supplies I've seen that can support over 1000 watts ATX 3.1 supports, and it has extremely good power efficiency, which is just ludicrous. That's really excellent to see. And if you thought, okay, 1100 watts is not enough for me, and I don't want a fanless power supply, I mean, who wouldn't want this? You can get the X Silent Max, which has a fan that just kicks in when you need it, but it's still going to be whisper silent, and this can go up to 1300 watts, I believe. Just for that extra bit of wattage, if you feel like you need it. And then it goes up even crazier with the X Mighty. This is, I don't think many of you guys are gonna be looking into that power supply a whole lot, but if you're someone who is gonna be running multiple graphics cards, multiple different power configurations in your system or systems, there you have the X Mighty, which is truly mighty. Now the last thing I want to show you guys are the new monitors coming out from Cooler Master. And this one here on my left is actually kind of cool. It's the Tempest GP2711. This one is supposedly Cooler Master's budget gaming monitor. And more or less it's your basic typical PC monitor, but what makes it unique is that it has that Cooler Master twist to it where the cooling here on the back is dissipated through an optimized heatsink. That way this monitor is not super thick, it's pretty slim, and it's your basic gaming monitor, but with the Cooler Master design language and extra little bit of cooling features. And then this right here is the same sort of monitor, but OLED, which is also cool. But this one has some RGB on the back, which is a nice little touch. And once again, I think the pricing for this is also going to be semi-competitive. But don't worry, Cooler Master is also going to be bringing some slightly higher end monitors with their GM2711S, or this one, the GM34CWQ2. What makes both of these unique is that they're anti-glare. So if I were to shine a light right now at this monitor, it's not going to reflect, which actually is really useful if you're, say, in a studio setting like us and we have studio lights and we want to show you something on screen. This isn't really going to reflect a whole lot, which is pretty nice. Once again, OLED, standard, gaming monitors, different resolutions, high refresh rate. They're gonna be good. So that is it here from the Cooler Master suite. I wanna thank all of you guys who've been watching our CES content. I know it's been a lot. Just like this track, I gotta stop it. And if you enjoy this kind of content, of course, give it a like, but this will be our last CES video, so who bothers? But if you do enjoy Scatterable videos, give it a like. That always helps it out. Not a like, a subscription. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. So with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scatterable channel, signing out.